Imagine you crack open your closet this morning and you literally cannot find anything to wear. Not because it's empty, it's stuffed. Clothes jammed into every corner, tags still on half of them, things you bought 8 months ago and completely forgot existed. And yet somehow, standing right in front of all of it, you feel broke. You feel behind. You feel like something is deeply wrong. And that feeling, that is not a closet problem. That is a money problem dressed up as a storage problem. My name is Nico, and I spend way too much time thinking about money. If that closet scene hit a little close to home, I want you to stick around, because today I'm going to walk you through 10 minimalist money rules that will completely change how you think about what you own, what you spend, and why most people stay quietly broke even with a perfectly decent income. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, give this a thumbs up. It genuinely helps more people find this stuff. And trust me, a lot of people need it right now. So here's the thing nobody warns you about when you're finally making real money. Lifestyle creep is quiet. It doesn't kick the door and announce itself, it tiptoes. First, it's the nicer apartment because you deserve it now. Then it's the car payment because it makes sense at your income level. Then it's the subscriptions, the memberships, the premium tiers of things you used to get for free. And one day you're sitting there 2 days before payday, staring at your checking account thinking, wait, how is this happening? I make good money. And that thought right there is the trap snapping shut. Let me paint you a picture. Every dollar you spend on something you don't actually need isn't just a dollar gone, it's future you paying a hidden tax on a decision past you made while bored or stressed or just trying to feel something for a minute. And that tax compounds, not in your favor. So let's talk about the 10 rules that break the cycle, and we're starting with the one that permanently rewires your relationship with price tags. Rule number 1 is cost per use thinking. Stop thinking about what something costs. Start thinking about what each individual use costs you. That $200 jacket you've worn 40 times, $5 a use. Borderline brilliant. That $40 shirt you've worn twice and quietly hate, $20 a use. Dressed up as a deal, functioning as a ripoff. When you run this math before you buy, not after, before, impulse spending becomes almost impossible to justify. Suddenly, that $60 kitchen gadget you'll use twice is $30 per mediocre smoothie, and your brain just quietly talks you out of it without a fight. Rule number 2 is the replacement test. Before buying anything non-essential, ask yourself one question. What is this replacing? Not, do I want it? What is this replacing in my life right now? If you can't answer that immediately and specifically, you don't need it. You want it. And there's nothing wrong with wanting things, but the moment you start being honest about the difference, the bleeding stops. Here's where it gets really interesting. Rule number 3 is defining enough. This is the rule most people skip entirely because our entire culture is engineered around never feeling like you have enough. Enough clothes, enough tech, enough kitchen stuff, enough experiences to post about. But enough is actually a number. And when you sit down and define it, how many pairs of shoes do I actually need? How many jackets? How many coffee mugs? You break the accumulation loop. And the accumulation loop is the quiet engine behind most people's financial stagnation. Now, I want to tell you about 2 people. Marcus is 29 and earns $72,000 a year. Solid salary. But Marcus lives in a trendy apartment that costs him $1,800 a month. Leases an SUV he chose because it felt right for where he is in life. Eats out 4 or 5 nights a week. Has 9 active subscriptions, including 3 he completely forgot about. And upgrades his phone every single cycle. Because, and this is the story he tells himself, he works in tech, so it's practically professional development. Marcus contributes to his 401k. He has a savings account. On paper, he looks fine, but his net worth is essentially zero. Some months, he's genuinely running on fumes, quietly panicking 2 days before payday. Sound familiar? Then there's Jordan, also 29, makes $58,000, $14,000 less than Marcus. She lives in a one-bedroom outside the city, drives a paid-off Honda she bought used, cooks most nights, has 2 subscriptions she actually uses, and hasn't bought new clothes in 7 months because she genuinely doesn't need any. Jordan is saving close to 30% of her take-home income. She has a real emergency fund. She has real margin. She doesn't feel rich, but she feels free, and that feeling is worth more than any leased SUV. The difference between Marcus and Jordan isn't income, it's the rules they're living by. Rule number 4 is the 24-hour rule. If you want something that isn't essential, you wait a full day before buying it. That's the whole rule. Sounds almost insultingly simple, right? But here's the crazy part. The overwhelming majority of non-essential purchases are driven by impulse, and a single night's sleep eliminates a huge percentage of that desire completely. Tomorrow you is almost always more rational than right now you. Let tomorrow you vote on the purchase. They'll often vote no, and your bank account will quietly thank you. Rule number 5 is 1 in, 1 out. You want new sneakers? A pair leaves. New blender? The old one goes. This single rule kills accumulation and, more importantly, it creates friction before the purchase because now you have to think about what you're giving up beyond just the money. Friction is your greatest ally against mindless spending. Rule number 6 is the hidden cost audit, and this is where most budgets are quietly hemorrhaging. Every physical thing you own carries a cost beyond its purchase price. Storage space, maintenance, mental load, insurance, time, charging cables, repairs, upgrades. That boat in someone's driveway isn't just a boat. It's registration, insurance, dock fees, winter storage, weekend guilt, and the slow creep of obligation. The sticker price is never the full price. Never. Rule number 7 is this. Stop buying to impress people you genuinely do not care about. This one sounds obvious until you honestly audit your own spending and notice how much of what you own is performance. The car you drive through certain neighborhoods, the watch you wear to certain meetings, the vacation you took largely for what it would look like in your feed. No judgment here, it's just money physics. Status spending is the highest cost, lowest return investment available, and most of us are running it on autopilot without even realizing it. Rule number 8 is the lifestyle creep audit, and you should run this once a year, minimum. Go through every spending category and ask, did this go up this year? And if yes, did my actual happiness or quality of life meaningfully go up with it? Because that gap is where lifestyle creep hides. Your food budget crept up $200 a month. Are you genuinely noticeably happier? Your rent is $400 more than last year. Is your life measurably better? When you force that honest comparison, the upgrades that actually matter become obvious, and the ones that were just drift become impossible to defend.
Rule number 9 is buy less, buy better. Minimalist spending doesn't mean cheap, it means intentional. One great item that lasts 10 years beats 3 mediocre ones replaced constantly in cost and mental energy and the slow exhaustion of researching and deciding and returning and replacing. The $180 boot that lasts 8 years costs you less than $40 boots bought 4 times. This is a wealth principle disguised as an aesthetic one. And rule number 10, the one that ties every other rule together, is this. Enough is also a financial number, not just a stuff number. What balance in your investment account would make you exhale? What monthly income would feel like freedom? Because without a personal definition of financial enough, you will upgrade forever. You will chase forever. You will accumulate forever. But the moment you define what freedom actually looks like for you, not what Instagram says it looks like, not what your parents achieved, your version, you finally have something to aim at instead of just something to escape from. Here's what happens when these 10 rules start stacking. It's not a dramatic moment. It's slow and then it's sudden. You stop wanting so much, not because you're depriving yourself, but because your definition of a good life gets sharper and smaller and far more satisfying. You become the kind of person who knows exactly why they own everything they own, who has real margin because they stopped funding someone else's idea of a good life, who looks at their bank account the way Jordan does, not with dread, but with quiet confidence that they are winning on their own terms. That is the identity shift, not minimalism as an Instagram aesthetic, minimalism as a financial weapon, as a wealth-building strategy, as the thing that lets you actually get ahead while everyone around you quietly wonders why they still feel stuck on the same income. If this one hit different, do me a favor and share it with someone who needs to hear it right now. Drop a comment with the rule that landed hardest for you. I genuinely read every single one. And I'll see you in the next video.